President Assad says the blood of our martyrs will not go in vain. With reforms, we build a strong dam against regional and international conspiracies. Syria's doors are open to all those who want real reform and truthful dialogue. The legislative elections came as a blow to all those who wanted Syria to drown in blood. The political process goes ahead, but terrorism continues to escalate. Good afternoon, welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dania Nizam. President Bashar al-Assad asserted that the critical circumstances around us call for more courage, steadfastness and sense of responsibility. In his speech in the People's Assembly, the President called upon members to carry out their legislative and monitoring tasks on the basis of clear vision. Syria needs the efforts of those who work for constructive dialogue. Reforms can block a large part of the hostile campaign and build a strong dam against regional and international plots. The Syrian people have proved their capacity in difficult tests. The President asserted that the legislative elections were held in time, and this was a blow to those who wanted Syria to drown in the blood of its citizens. The President asserted that after 14 months of the crisis, things have become clear and the plots were exposed. The imperialists changed their methods and their agents, but their plots are well known to everybody. We need to learn from our people who have defeated the plot. The President pointed out that the political process was going ahead. However, terrorism was escalating. Any political process that does not rely on the people's consciousness would be worthless. Syria's doors would remain open to anybody who wants real reform and truthful dialogue. Our hearts would remain open to welcome the participation of any truthful citizen in the process of construction. Syria continues to embrace all its sons working for its future in spite of all the wounds. No matter how much differences should occur, these differences enrich our democracy as long as they remain peaceful for the sake of our homeland. National security remains a red line that cannot be crossed over under any pretext. There will be no forgiveness for those who seek to destroy our homeland. The agents inside Syria and the plotters outside seek to create chaos. Communities should be based on good morals and virtuous principles, not on disrupting Syria's steadfast support for resistance and Syria's adherence to its national rights. When the question is a matter of patriotism, we should stand with our homeland. Our armed forces gave great sacrifices to protect our homeland. Any mistake should not be exploited or attributed to the government and its departments. Our armed forces are a symbol of nationalism that protected our homeland and defended our independence and honour. They deserve every respect and appreciation. This crisis would end soon in spite of the plots of foreign agents coming from outside history. History shall never write that the Syrians destroyed their homeland with their own hands. We must all work together to achieve this justice, equal opportunities and basic services. Although the plots created death and destruction, we want our people to give the world a model of civilization, freedom and comprehensive participation by all honest and truthful citizens. Our people in the occupied Syrian Golan have denounced the Arab League decision to stop the transmission of the official and unofficial Syrian TV channels on both Nilesat and Arabsat. In a statement issued today, they said that the decision to stop the transmission of our homeland's TV channels is a proof of the authenticity of our national media. It is a step that constitutes another desperate attempt to cover up their systematic terrorism against Syria, which is sponsored by oil sheikhs in Saudi Arabia and the Gulf, led by the US. The statement added that we consolidate with our journalists across the nation. We stand with them in their stance against the tyrants and conspirators. We confirm that those decisions are void because they are issued by a council that does not represent us. On the wall of Acre, the capital of Galilee, we stand in solidarity with Syria against what it faces of schemes that aim to undermine its national unity and stability. The Ministry of Information said that the Arab League Council's decision came within the framework of targeting Syria in the continuity of the psychological and media terrorism sponsored by some states to conceal the reality of what is taking place in Syria. The statement released by the ministry said that the decision came to serve the instigation campaign led by the misleading channels to influence the steadfastness of the Syrian people. The statement affirmed that some Gulf states known for supporting terrorists with funds and weapons to kill Syrian people are working for conceding the truth in service for Western and US agendas that aim to divide the region. The ministry stressed that this decision is considered an attack against the freedom of press that comes within the framework of the US sanctions against Syrian national media. It also runs contrary to all laws and vocational conventions. The ministry concluded that such decisions would not affect Syrian media's determination to disclose the role played by some Arab states in supporting the terrorist groups in Syria. The National Information Council denounced the decision taken by the Arab Foreign Ministers' Council, which asked the administrations of Arabsat and Nilesat to halt the transmission of the Syrian satellite channels. The Council considered the decision as a flagrant interference in Syria's internal affairs and an unprecedented attack against the freedom of press in the Arab homeland. In a statement, the Council considered the Arab Foreign Minister's decision as a media terrorism directed against the Syrian people. The Council called on the administrations of both Arabsat and Nilesat to commit to the contract signed with Syria, demanding them not to change into a political tool used by some Arab governments to target Syria and its people. Brazilian Foreign Minister Antonio Patriota affirmed his country's fullest support to Annan's mission to Syria and his full refusal to any military intervention. Patriota referred to the latest statements by the head of the UN Committee for Investigation in Syria, Paulo Sergi Bianiro, who talked about a catastrophic militarization in Syria and that the Syrian government has all legal principles to fight the armed groups. The Alba Group released a statement condemning the resolution of UNHRC as reflecting the desires to interfere in Syria's internal affairs. The group said that it values the Syrian government's steps in responding to the legitimate demands of people and the program of reform, as well as its willingness to implement the peace plan of Kofi Annan. This brings the bulletin to a close. For more news, log on to our website in English3-6-2012.mp4.